Netflix's long-awaited live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender has finally been released, and it was rough, buddy. We won't beat around the bush because the pros and the cons of the series are pretty clear to us. The strongest aspect of the series is definitely the production design, visual effects, and the fantastic tone they managed to capture somewhat from the original series. Let's be clear from the start, this live-action adaptation doesn't come anywhere close to the masterpiece that is the Avatar: The Last Airbender animated series. But before diving into the negatives, let's look at the positives a bit. As we said, Avatar: The Last Airbender absolutely justifies the money spent on it and makes you feel like you're watching a massive fantasy drama series to the core. The visited kingdoms, the wars, the battles, the colossal creatures, they all seem to have been meticulously crafted to do just to the original series. It's very evident that everyone involved in making of this series is a fan of the original work, that's for sure. Visually and aesthetically, this is probably the best adaptation from animation to live action that could have been achieved. The costumes are exquisite, the sets are vibrant and cinematically impressive, every place you visit is alive. However, a small note, some scenes felt a little bit artificial and they could have spent a bit more time in the post-production. Apart from that, the fight scenes and the bending effects are solid, occasionally brutal, and enjoyable to watch. We particularly love the fire and earth bending. Choosing dust for airbending somewhat detracted from the visual appeal, but it still looks sufficient, so no problem there as well. We especially love the Azula scene at the finale. That was so good. Now onto the cast. In our opinion, this aspect is a 50-50. While some parts were well executed, unfortunately some choices were clearly wrong. The Leslie as Zuko definitely gives the best performance out of the cast. Additionally, the characterization of Zuko was close in quality to the original series. In fact, the best episode of the season, which is the 6th episode, was mostly the best because it was focused on Zuko and his backstory. Another standout casting is Ian Owsley as Sokka. He particularly carries the team Avatar. Daniel de Kim fits well as Ozai, but we think the script could have made him more mysterious and elusive. He feels a bit too much in the middle of everything. Still, he's a character with high stage presence. Oh, and also Suki and Mongiatsu was perfectly cast, like no way they could have found better. While Aang and Katara were decently cast, unfortunately 2 actors here fell victim to poorly written script. Aang isn't as comedic and as fun as he should be, and he's kinda still too serious. Katara, on the other hand, has almost zero personality and has unfortunately become a boring carbon copy of herself from the animated show. Azula and Mai weren't quite accurately cast either, especially with Azula there seems to be a lack of understanding of the character itself. Iroh was a surprise for us. While we thought this actor would pull off the role instantaneously, due to the script and monotonous acting, we didn't quite have the desired impact from Iroh. But when it comes to the characters, we cannot blame the series too much after all. Because Avatar: The Last Airbender's animation has some of the best characters and character work ever. It was already difficult to reach, let alone surpass that level. Regarding for the music, we must say they did a solid job. Hearing familiar themes again made us smile, and we also fairly enjoyed the new renditions. The series is structured into 4 parts, each 2 episodes feeling like it tells one coherent story. However, especially the Omashu episodes feel unnecessarily cramped. It feels like they try to combine the plots of maybe 4 to 5 episodes into one. As we said, the best episodes of the series are 6th, 5th, and the 2nd. This is a bit unfortunate because the strongest episodes of the first season in the animated shows was the last 3, and them not fully nailing in the finale in the live action show was a bit problematic and disappointing. There were also some nonsensical decisions made in the series for the plot, the world building, and the characters. Let's get into them because we have some bad choices. They already said that they would reduce Sokka's sexism, but while this was part of his character arc, Sokka here remains much more of a normal guy, to be honest. Ian Owsley still knows what makes Sokka Sokka, but the script restrains him. Aang flying without his glider is just absurd and stupid. Gran Gran in episode 1 is just a cringe exposition machine. The acting is all over the place, kinda, to be honest. The directing is not as solid as it should be. We haven't even talked about the most ridiculous part of the season yet, Aang not using any waterbending. I guess the producers forgot the entire premise of the first season itself. Katara teaches herself how to waterbend and becomes quite proficient. They were training with Paco in the animated series, practicing on the road, etc. I'm not even going to mention Aang because there's nothing to mention. I really don't know why they made these decisions in the plot, but I would not be surprised if they end up fighting Ozai all together in the end of season 3. They could really do something like that, I'm afraid. So there you have it, Sippers. If you have enjoyed the Netflix's version of Avatar The Last Airbender, we immediately recommend you jumping to the original animated series, because everything you loved and more is there. How did you find Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender? Let's discuss it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and keep sipping your favorite stories. See you soon.